here's the guy. He's full of controversy. He's called a Grandmaster Nemesis Dreadknight. Oh! And this is him. For some reason I've got the unpainted sword on him, but anywho. Woo! Giddy up. Let's talk about him. In Nemesis Dreadnought, he has a degrading profile. We'll start off with the top row, then we'll talk about the nerfing bits afterwards. So 7+ wounds, he has a movement of 9, weapon skill and ballistic skill both of 2+, strength and toughness both of 6, 13 wounds, 6 attacks, leadership of 9 and a 2+ save. When the Dreadknight has between 4 and 6 wounds, he has a movement goes down to 7, his ballistic skill goes down to 3, and his attack goes down to 5. When he is between 1 and 3 wounds, his movement goes down to 5, so he goes to basically a normal Terminator dude then. His ballistic skill goes down to 4, which is a bit sad, that's life, and his attacks go down to 4. The Grandmaster of Nemesis Dreadnought is equipped with 2 Dread Fists as standard. Now, let's talk about a couple of his options. This model can be equipped with up to 2 of the following. The same option cannot be selected twice. 1 heavy incinerator, 1 Gatling silencer, or 1 heavy psi cannon. The Gatling silencer has a range of 24, heavy 12, strength 5, AP -1 and 1 damage. The heavy psi cannon has a range of 24, heavy 6, strength 8, -2 and 2 damage. And the heavy incinerator has a range of 12, it's heavy 2d6, strength 6, AP -1 and it automatically hits. I do quite like taking the Gatling silencer and heavy psi cannon because they team up well with psychic onslaught and also empiric whatever it is, empiric amplification. It also boosts the damage of both of those weapons by 1. So when you've got psychic onslaught, the silencer suddenly becomes strength 6, AP -2, 2 damage, and the heavy psi cannon becomes strength 9, AP -3, 3 damage. So very useful indeed. One of these models' Dread Fist can be placed in one of the following: a Nemesis Demon Great Hammer or 1 Nemesis Great Sword. So the Dread Fist, it isn't a Nemesis weapon, so it doesn't benefit from Empiric Amplification, and it also doesn't benefit from the Tide of Convergence, so it doesn't get any mortal wounds or any extra cool stuff there. But if you take the Nemesis Demon Great Hammer, it is a Nemesis weapon, and same as the sword. So the hammer is a melee weapon. It is strength times 2. It is damage -4. It has a damage of D3 plus 3. Each time attack is made with this weapon is to attract 1 from the attack's hit roll. So you obviously then hitting on 3s with 6 attacks, which is pretty brutal. The damage D3 plus 3 is really good. The problem with that is the sword has some better options, especially because this guy can team up with Warlord traits. If I was to take the Demon Great Hammer, I'd think about it on a normal Dreadnought, but typically overall the hammer is going to be a bit more reliable. The sword's going to be a bit more reliable. So the sword has 2 attack types. It's got Mighty Strike or Sweeping Blow. Both of them are melee. The Mighty Strike is +4 to strength. It is -3 AP and it is D6 damage. It's a little bit less reliable to the damage than the other one, but Empiric Amplification is going to be D6 plus 1, so you're going to be a minimum of 2 damage with that. Sweeping Blow is combat as well. Strength user, so it's only strength 6. It has an AP of -2, damage 2, but it makes 2 hit rolls for each attack made with this profile instead of 1. This thing with Empiric Amplification, it suddenly becomes damage 3. Now, the Warlord trait I do like with this dude, there's so many that go great on him. He's the perfect place to put Warlord traits, in fact. I do like Nemesis Lord. So each time a Warlord makes a melee attack with his Nemesis weapon, an unmodified hit roll of 6 automatically wounds the target. Actually, that's not the one I thought it was. I thought it was the one that gives you extra hits. Anyways, doesn't matter. Hammer of Righteousness is pretty good. Each time this warlord makes a melee attack, if it made a charge move, was charged or performed a heroic intervention this turn, add 1 to that attack's wound roll. So being strength 6 with your sweeping ability, you're going to be wounding Marines typically on a 3. This now lets you sweep at them and wound them on 2+. If you're up against a vehicle and you want to go sweeping blow because you've got Empiric Amplification on the unit, so it's now damage 3 with 12 attacks, suddenly you, instead of wounding that vehicle, if it's toughness 7 or 8, you're going to be wounding on a 5, you're wounding on a 4 then. And yeah, 12 attacks, wounding on 4 is pretty good. If you're playing Prescient Brotherhood, you could probably get the reroll 1s to hit and wound as well. And if Drago's nearby, he can throw it on there to reroll to hit, but up to 2+, you're going to be hitting on 2s. So I'd say Prescient Brotherhood is a good stratagem for him. Yeah, he's got lots of options. Relics, I'd probably recommend the relic that lets you teleport. He's a bit starved for relics. He can't take a lot of the guns and the combat weapons, mainly because he's fixed into the relics. The relics don't let him do that. If they had like a relic Psy Cannon or something on there, that'd be cool, but they don't. So you get what you're given. You can't take the armored ones, so you can't take the Cantu Vambrace or the Circus of Sacrifice, so he can't take them. But you can take the Sigil of Exigence, which lets him do the get shot at and move. I'd also look at taking the gift, the Emperor's something or other it's called. Servant of the Throne it is. So once per battle, the bearer can be selected the target. It uses this gift. It gives him a 3+ invulnerable saved. So that's an extra 20 points. When you've got a guy that's this big and brutal and potent, you want to try and do everything you can to keep him alive. That 3+ invulnerable save could be the difference for you. It is only 1 turn, but typically you're going to get attacked pretty heavy, probably 1 or 2 turns, and if you can just keep him that little bit more alive for that turn, go for it. Now he does have the vehicle keyword, so he can be healed by the what's it called, the Tech Marine. So the Tech Marine can heal him back D3 lost wounds. There is that relic that gives him straight 3. If it takes him up a bracket, it's definitely worth it. The only problem is getting the Tech Marine to where you need him. That's the only downside. But yes, anyways, that's a couple of the cool upgrades. What he can do psychically is this model can attempt to manifest 1 psychic power in your psychic phase and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in your opponent's psychic phase. It knows Smite and 2 psychic powers from the Dominus discipline. So being able to cast only 1, it does limit him a little bit. Being able to take 2 powers though, it's actually pretty good. Empiric Amplification is probably the one I'd look at the most, because it just means that him and guys near him are going to have that much more damage. And he really is not so much a support character, but more a killing character. So that's what you want to be doing with him, killing stuff. The second power, I'd consider either the movement shenanigans one, or the warp, the Gate of Infinity, so you can get him across the table somewhere else. Things like that. And he does have one other thing that he can take. He can take what's called a Dreadnought teleporter. It's an upgrade which gives him the teleporter keyword. So back in the day, there used to be a thing called shunting, and it used to be once per game you could pick the unit up and place it within 9 inches of the enemy. Before that, it was just a deep strike. You have a scatter and all this stuff. It was a bit more unreliable, but Dreadknights used to all be able to take it, and then the teleporter became giving them the ability to just deep strike in. These guys now come standard with teleport strike. It's built into their rules. So the teleporter now gives them the ability to shunt for 2 CP, or you can spend 1 CP and then they can fall back, shoot and charge. So if you fall back, you can't cast a psychic power, But being able to move out of that combat and shoot something and then charge something else, or doing something like that, it gives you a bit of flexibility. It's something that the other Dreadnoughts can do too, and also the Interceptors. So it gives you a bit more of that guerrilla fighting vibe to them, I think. But overall, the Grandmaster Nemesis Dreadknight is really good. He's one of those guys that if you take him, you're going to be happy, but if you don't take him, you're going to take other cool stuff anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'd say he's a definite must look at unit though. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave some comments, and tell me how much you love this channel. Till next time, see you then.